What's going on, guys? It's been a while since we've recorded. With Thanksgiving coming up, figured I'd do a little video breaking down the three-game NFL slate. So let's just jump right into it. I have the projections pulled up right here. I'll share the screen. I'm not gonna go through it just like this. We're gonna go position by position, kind of like normally, and then I just want to check ownership and projections and all that here. So let's just jump in and go to quarterbacks. Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Sam Howell. Dak is my favorite play, and the reason why is because um in the games that they have crushed opponents, Dak still played a good amount, and for whatever reason, they decide that they're not going to give the ball to Tony Pollard. They're just going to spread the ball and just, throw it and all that. So that means that there's high volume there. He's my favorite on the slate here. I do like Jared Goff as well playing against Green Bay. I know they've been better recently, but Jared Goff, even though he beat the Bears the whole first half and like part of the third quarter, he didn't look great. He threw three interceptions. This is a bounce back spot for him. Brock Purdy is interesting. I'm gonna check all the. I'll show ownership projections as well after each position is done with. But he hasn't been bad recently. His last three games over here, pretty good fantasy points. Let's just check Dak really quick. So against Carolina, only 16, but you got that 38 here. So he's pretty consistent here. Um, Playing against Washington secondary, this is a great spot for him. That's why I like him. Sam Howell, don't even worry about it. Um, let's just check projections really quick for these guys. Okay. Yeah, that's a little odd. All right. Sorry. Let's just check ownerships. I'm also recording this at like 2 in the morning, so everything's not going to look right. There's probably going to be some stuff that's missing. Dak is projected for 30%, and then it goes Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Howell. I didn't even talk about these two. Don't even worry about it. Dak is getting double the ownership, so that to me, that means you kind of can't pass him up. I guess if you want to be different and just go with Brock Purdy and save some salary there, I wouldn't mind that either. I don't even mind Goff that much, but if I had to rank them, it would be in this order here. On to running backs. Christian McCaffrey is almost always a play. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, the thing that I find interesting, they can both have a very good game. I can't remember who they played, but both of them had like an amazing game. So I don't mind either one of them. I don't know why. I guess it's because Montgomery just got back recently and Gibbs has been playing a lot. That's why he's up there a little bit. Pollard, I like. Every week I'm gonna play him, and this past main slate we played him and he did good. Scored a touchdown finally. Brian Robinson, don't mind as much. I'm not really gonna get to any Washington guys. I'm just throwing this out here now. Not really getting to Washington guys, but if our lineup has like Dak and CeeDee Lamb, there's nothing wrong with going with a run back of Brian Robinson, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel. You can do something like that. AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones got ruled as like doubtful, like unlikely to play. So AJ Dillon looks great here, but he's got this groin injury. So Dillon appears set for increased reps, assuming he's healthy to play enough. I don't think it's that serious. I think he just got like limited practice today. Um, Kenneth Walker is questionable. I did not practice Tuesday, so that kind of leads me to think that Zach Charbonnet or whatever this guy's name is gonna be very chalk if Kenneth Walker is ruled out. If that's the case, if you're playing multiple lineups, like almost pretty much 100% has to go to Charbonnet a little bit, even if you maybe even like 85% of your lineups minimum. That's just me. I don't know what's up with Gibson. I don't really think a lot of people play him that much anymore. That's about it there. With Aaron Jones doubtful, you're just gonna have to keep an eye on the AJ Dillon news. Charbonnet is pretty much a lock. McCaffrey is always a lock if you can get to him. You can pick your poison here with either one of these guys. I would probably lean Montgomery in my opinion, but Robinson and Pollard. The one thing I just don't understand with Pollard is they just don't give him the ball enough. He just doesn't score a lot. Dak. My theory with the Cowboys is they're trying to make Dak look really good. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league, but they're trying to get the media to say that Dak Prescott is good. So that means he's not going to hand the ball off or just dump it off to Pollard. But yeah, just keep an eye out for the Kenneth Walker news and the AJ Dillon news, and then go from there. I don't even know, like if AJ Dillon's out, who you would get to. Just probably just stay away from there. Um, let's see ownership. Yeah, Charbonnet is going to be 33% projected right now, third highest. And then this is the order. Um, get to McCaffrey if you can. He's always going to do something. On to wide receivers. CD Lamb, he was questionable earlier in the week. Just a random assignment. He always looks good. He's been getting the ball a lot more recently. Um, 13, then he had 34 against the Giants, 22, 35. I just remember beginning of the season they weren't using him as much, and then the whole thing came out how I don't even know if he came out and said he was frustrated, but there was something along those lines, and ever since he's been amazing. Same Brown against Green Bay. Yeah, division rivals. Same thing here. Same thing here. Um, these are just all like decent matchups in my opinion. I mean, kind of, but we get the little narrative of a divisional rival game. So I like that. St. Brown had a quiet game against the Bears. I mean, he did get a touch. I shouldn't say quiet game, but I mean, he had four straight games with 100 plus receiving yards and then only 77. But the targets are there. Clear cut number one. It's worth getting to both of these guys. Even Ayuk, he's been going crazy. A lot of people know that if you compare this to last year, Debo was the number one option. Now this year it's Ayuk. Numbers have been good. Targets are up and all that. Um, and obviously it has to do with Debo being out for a little bit. This kind of concerns me that DK has not been practicing. He's been putting up some decent numbers as well. So, I mean, if he's in, I would not mind that. Seattle, besides Charbonnet, doesn't look that appealing just because of San Fran. It kind of seems like that San Fran has kind of been heading in the right direction again. Um, Kind of like I was saying with Washington run back option, if you get two Seattle players, like let's just say you go Lockett and Charbonnet, sure, why not? Debo's price, I like, might not be a bad option if you're trying to just go to CeeDee Lamb, you can go to Samuel and then go for a cheap guy. Um, he has the rushing upside as well. Um, I don't know if I can find it on here, truth be told. He has, oh, He has the rushing upside as well. They like to do the weird stuff with him or even just throw him in at running back at times, so I wouldn't mind that. Um, Lockett, sure. Dobbs, sure. McLaurin, no. Jaden Reed plays. I like that price tag on him. I have a lineup made already, and I have Brandon Cooks in there. Kind of flyer. We kind of know he's had some solid games this year. 173 um receiving yards against the Giants, only 42 against Carolina. I mean, he's produced even if you get a game like this from him where he gets 13, 4 receptions, 36 receiving yards and a touchdown, that's pretty good. You obviously want the 27-point game, but for 5,700, there's nothing wrong with going there. You can go Smith Njigba as well. There's not much else. You can take a shot at Williams, Curtis Samuel, kind of like I said, Dotson, just run back options. Um, so right now it's got CeeDee Lamb, St. Brown, Debo, Ayuk. Debo with that 6,700 price tag, I understand the ownership, but him and Ayuk are both pretty similar. Jaden Reed, 17. So on a 3-game slate like this, you're not going to find too much value. You might see like decent price tags, like for Debo Samuel, for instance. Um, there's nothing to be concerned about if you can't find value or guys that are super low owned. It's a 3-game slate, so don't worry about it too much. Um, let's move on to tight ends. George Kittle, Sam Laporta, Ferguson, Thomas, Musgrave, Fant. Typically, I think tight ends are kind of flyer positions. The lineup that I made already has Logan Thomas just because he's a bit cheaper. I know Howell likes to throw the ball to him a little bit. Um, I know recent games he hasn't looked great, but I mean, you can take a shot at him. Pay up options, I would go with Laporta, Kittle, obviously. I think I would lean a little bit more Laporta. He's been a little quiet recently, but we kind of saw what he can do at the beginning of the year. He's got that potential playing against Green Bay's defense. I like the spot for him. Jake Ferguson's a good option too. I mean, he had 3 straight games with a touchdown and then nothing, as you can see here against Carolina, but don't mind that either. Musgrave, um, yeah, he was in the hospital. It doesn't seem like he's going to be playing. I guess LaFleur said that this injury could be long term. I don't even know who the backup is for Green Bay. Is it this Kraft guy? I'm like scrolling through just to see if I missed. I guess you can just go with him. I know they've used Agura. Tucker Kraft and Ben Sims would be the only healthy tight ends if he and Digger are unable to go. Yeah. I mean, I guess kind of if you're paying up and all these other positions, take a shot at Kraft for shits and giggles, I guess. If you're playing multiple lineups, there's nothing wrong with getting a decent amount of him just to save some salary and pay up over here. Um, that's about it. I'm trying to see if there were people that I missed. Let me just scroll through. Just a quick recap. Keep an eye on AJ Dillon's status and Kenneth Walker's. That can pretty much change a lot of things. Um, trying to see because I don't even know the third string running back. Um, Merriweather. I mean, Kinda like the same thing with, Tucker Craft, I guess you can just go for it, just see what happens if you're playing multiple lineups. If you're playing 1, don't do that. I think I'm gonna play, like, maybe 2 or 3. Um, I probably won't get to this Meriwether guy, but maybe Craft in a lineup, we'll see. But yeah, I would say the most important things from this slate and from this video, if you take away anything from here, keep an eye on Kenneth Walker and AJ Dillon. And obviously Musgrave as well. DK. Um, Jaden Reed isn't super important, but it could make a difference. But defense and special teams, pick one and ride it. The lineup that I made has Detroit. I hate both of these teams. The Packers suck, so I mean Detroit's because why not? Um, yeah, that's about it. Just make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. I'm gonna put a link in the description for the ownership that I showed you guys, just in case you want to get started with this. With NBA season being about a little over a month in, with NFL season wrapping up sadly, definitely worth using for FanDuel, DraftKings, and all that stuff. So I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to get signed up and started there. Thanks for watching.